Alright guys, here we have a, what do we got? A 98 Yamaha G16 gas. This is a crank, no start gas cart. I pulled the seat off already because I was pulling the serial number off of it just to confirm the year and model. So what it does is turn the key on. No matter what, customer states that after many minutes of cranking, it just takes a long time to fire up and it doesn't want to run right. He's had carb issues, I guess, for a while. So what we're going to do, before we jump into really doing anything other than basic troubleshooting, we're going to just pull the carb. Well, actually, before we pull the carb, what we're going to do is check and make sure we have spark, because that's the most important thing. If without spark, it doesn't matter how much air and fuel you have, it's not going to fire. Compression for that matter as well. It's got to have compression. So we'll do a spark check and then we'll check for compression, make sure all that stuff's good before we start pulling the carb off. Alright, so we got it up on the ramps. I'm going to start pulling the spark plug out here in a second, of course. Okay, so that's going to be the story of this video. There's probably going to be a lot of phone calls coming in because it is what it is. Anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to pull... What the hell's going on here? Looks like they're running the PCV out the back of the cart. I gotta find out what that's all about. Anyway, is it overfilled? No, but it looks like it could do for an oil change. What was I saying? I'm gonna wipe this. Yeah, all right. Anyway, back to, let's get my brain on track here. I'm going to pull the spark plug. Oh man, the more and more I look at this thing, the more issues I see. It's like, I think we're going to just take the air box off. I'm seeing things that are just like, what the hell? Oh, we got a go fast part. Ooh, look at that. Because this is a, okay, whatever. Not my cart, it's a waste of money, but all right. Look at all the holes they drilled in the airbox. Wow, they drilled all these extra holes in the airbox. And then after they realized that it wasn't going to run right because it's getting too much air, they blocked some of them off. This is the inlet here. This hole here. Oh, look at that. It's missing it's missing both bolts in the back. So the only thing holding the airbox on is the two 12mm nuts on the carburetor. Okay. I guess somebody on YouTube thought that was a good idea. Okay. But boy, see, this is the kind of stuff that you run into when you do. Look at this. The fuel pump line runs over the spark plug. So we got to pull the airbox off anyway, so we'll straighten this out and probably replace that fuel line. Fuel filter, since we're doing carburetor work, we're definitely replacing that fuel filter. Yep, Amazon special. Probably an eBay special. Yeah, so let's see what's going on here. Before we get to that, since we have to take this off, let's just jump into the carburetor. In order to get this thing off, we should only need to use 10mm. There's usually two 10mm bolts in the back. The carb nuts that are here are 12mm. And they're usually fairly straightforward to get to. I usually use a deep socket. On the G16s and 22s are pretty easy to get to with the 12mm deep socket, and this one is not coming off. Probably crap on the... And there's lots of room between the gas tank and the... Wow, what the hell is going on here? Gas tank and the airbox. The drives, it's easier to get to them from underneath. There we go. Just because the gas tank on the Yamaha drive is so much wider and shorter, I personally like this design better. Okay. Alright, and then you need a Phillips head screwdriver to remove the choke cable retention clip. That just comes right off. I usually throw everything in the air box, and then there are these clevis pins and clips on the choke and throttle, unless this one has been replaced with the cotter pin. Nope, it's got a clevis pin. Alright, so that takes choke off and out of the way. And then typically I'll grab the E-clip with a side cutters, pair of dikes, and just pull it out. And then pull the boot back, slide that out and out of the way. Why, see, this is the kind of stuff I don't understand. Why is that like that? I'm gonna get this, take this clip out of here and move it and run it like it's supposed to. And it looks like they blocked off the overflow on the carb. There's also a 1/4 inch fuel line clamp, but I'm just going to use my Phillips head because it's that style. Okay, the carb is loose. Fuel line off. That looks bone dry. That's possible. We might have a bad pump. Or this line here's got a vacuum issue. But like I said, because we're in here, we're going to be doing little things. Alright, then the carburetor should, come on you, slide right off. That's it. It's pretty dirty. For curiosity's sake, we're going to pull the bowl. Need a 10 mil. So, alright, let's go somewhere else other than hanging over the cart here. So I know this isn't ideal. I will clean the carb after the fact. But usually to get them open, oh my god, you gotta put some leverage on them. Whew, that is tight. Okay. Okay, here comes all the dingalingers. You know what? Well, let's just take this off. Oh, shit. Heavily varnished, but there's no gas in there. So we will clean the carb. I mean, obviously, because we have it off the cart, it makes total sense to throw it in the parts washer and clean it up before we do any cleaning of it. So for now, I'm just going to put that there. Let's go see if the fuel pump is pumping. There's that fuel line. Let's see what we got here. Actually, what I'm going to look for in the fuel tank, because there's no gas dripping out of there. I wonder if we have... There's a lot of crap in the fuel tank, gas tank, and it looks like the siphon tube coming off the dip there is off the dip thing. Gas tank adapter is a little funky. Let's see if we get fuel flow. Okay, nothing. Alright, so I'm going to do my little trick here of priming the fuel tank. So what I'll do is I'll take air hose. I'm going to actually put this down here so we don't make a mess. I'm just going to... Okay, so we get fuel by doing that. Now I wonder if it will cap back on, if it'll pump it. Alright, so there we go. Oh, maybe not. So that little bit of fuel that's dripping out of there is just whatever fell out of the hose here. So the fuel pump is not pumping. Does that mean the fuel pump is bad? Not really. That might just mean we have a bad line. So what I'm going to do... Oh, here we go. Well, If this wasn't that obvious, it's obvious now. So here's our problem. The vacuum line is crusty and broken, so we're going to replace it and run it the proper way. So let's get some fuel line. This might actually turn out to be a fairly straightforward and easy. Yeah, this line here is all hard and stiff. So we're gonna replace on that. We'll put a new, these are all zip ties here, so let's cut these. Or just slide them off. I'm gonna blow that shit out of there too, because it's a fire waiting to happen right there. Yeah, this line is all hard and brittle and stuck to the engine. So I'm very gingerly here trying to cut it off. There we go. Okay. Before I blow that stuff out of there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a piece of fuel line on the end of that. All right, so I should rephrase that. Before we put the fuel or the air box back on, we'll do all that stuff. I can. This is just 1/4 inch fuel line. That there. Hope you guys can see what I'm doing. Hopefully. Ooh, FedEx. Be right back. I don't know if I have any of those spring clamps. I don't think I do. So this is going to have to work. Pull that off. Let's, ooh, yeah, a bit of water in there. So this might not be a bad idea for you guys to possibly just remove the air box every once in a while. Even if you don't do any other maintenance in here, just kind of clean that junk out of there. This is normally a spring clamp, which I prefer, but I don't have any. So I'm going to use these hose clamps. I think this is a 1/4 inch one. So the hose for the fuel pump is supposed to just run down and along here like so. There's a retainer that goes up in here, which is totally busted, but that'll do. And then we twist. I actually kind of like those. They're somewhat nice. And then it runs to here. To there. Oop. I'll just slip it on for the moment. Actually, no, do it right. Do it once. Back this out. Now this one's a 6mm hose clamp, which I didn't realize at the time of ordering. 6mm and 1/4 inch are not the same. This is not a very high pressure situation here, so you don't really need like ginormous ones, but at least it looks nice. Okay, let's see if we're pumping now. Should be. Alright, can you guys see? Probably. Should. Come on, GoPro. Ready? Let's see if we're pumping. Yeah, look at that. Look at that flow. So the fuel pump we know is good. Just going to let that gas drain out of there. Because what will happen is it'll spill all over the place and you guys will give me a hard time. Okay, that's good. So, but because like I said, because I pulled the carburetor, we are going to change this fuel filter. It looks good, but I'll know for sure. 1 second. All right, so what we're doing now is I am going to change this fuel filter. So this will be fresh and clean. Oh, just a little PSA, public service announcement, for those that don't know what that is. Scammers are using known good phone numbers. They're spoofing phone numbers. All right, so what does that mean? They're basically taking a phone number that's good, known and working, and using it to, and spoofing the caller ID to call and scam people. How do I know this, and what does that mean? Basically, my cell phone, my personal cell phone, has been ringing off the hook the past couple of days. People calling me saying, I just got a missed call from you. And I say, no, it wasn't me. It was probably a scammer that has spoofed my phone number, the caller ID, and used my phone number as the caller ID so you would answer it. And I told them, I said, if you get any further, and this is somebody that I don't even know. It's like somebody in a completely different state. Nobody has my cell phone number. My cell phone number is not an actual cell phone kind of thing, just because of security issues. So I told them, I said, if you get anybody that calls from this phone number, tell them to, excuse the expression, but I'm going to swear. I said, and I told this person, I said, if you get any more phone calls from this phone number, tell the person that's calling to fuck off, because it is not me. And they said, oh, will do. And I think I probably had 10 or 15 minute conversations with people that have called me saying that they got spoof phone calls. And yeah. So if you get a phone call from a local looking number and it's nobody that you know, and it's some person on the other end of the phone trying to say that they're calling about your vehicle's warranty, or something's been this and that and the other thing, and then you have no idea who it is or what they're talking about, or even if it comes in from a number that you recognize but not the person on the other end of the phone, just tell them to pound sand, because you know what, the more, and also tell your friends and family about that, because that's something that I know in the tech industry. When I used to work in IT, I've seen that a lot, and I've seen a lot of people that I know, I didn't know until after the fact, but they would get scammed by IRS scams and Social Security scams and this scam and that scam, and I told them what to do and how to handle it, and I've been trying to save people with that, and these scammers need to get a life, I guess. But all right, anyway, let's get the carburetor cleaned and we'll put it back in the cart. I gotta move this out of my way. Move this out of my way. Ding ding. Rice-a-roni. Okay, parts washer. I bet you guys can't see because of the shadows. I need to get another light in here. So what I'll do is I'll take the parts washer and I will basically, oh yeah, you can't see with the light, do my best to get as much of the crud off before I clean it, because I don't want to, actually I'm going to put a different line on there. I'm going to put the actual, that was on the, alright. I swear I don't understand why people do what they do to these things. Son of a bitch. Just got a scam phone call again. Not sure who or what it is, but yeah. Never ends. Never ends. Alright, anyway. Let's go back to, oh, it looks like my filter sock is a little blocked. Oh, now I have to pee. Never fails there too. This parts washer fluid is, I'll turn that off. Time to change it, I think. But what I'm going to basically do here is I'm not trying to get this thing spotless. I really just want to get the heavy dirt off, and then I'll blast it off with the carburetor cleaner. Whatever comes off, comes off. The outside of the carburetor is not that important. We only care about what's on the inside. Okay. That's it. Oh, let's see here. See if we can get... Okay. That's as good as I'm going to get it. Alright guys, I don't have any space on my workbench because I've been going through stuff and it's a mess. That's all that you need to know and worry about. All right, so let's pop this. Hopefully the shadows aren't too bad. Okay, computer here. Take this off. Probably shit in there now. Oh yeah, look at that. There's all the brown water from the stuff there. We need a flathead to remove our main. Hopefully it'll come out without breaking. There we go. Never fails. Every time I get into something that involves liquids. Okay, so there's really, let's try that. There's really not much in these. It's actually nice and clean in there. Well, just wet now. But like all this muck and dirt on here, I'm not gonna, and I said muck and dirt. If anybody wants to accuse me of swearing again. I'm gonna back this all the way out too. This is what had the hose on it, I think. I don't understand why, but because there's no overflow on these. Okay. Yamaha carbs are very easy, very simple. Right, I got a couple of cans here. Put my glasses on because I don't feel like getting an eyeball's worth of stuff. I need another paper towel. Okay, so like this stuff here, we'll do that as we need it. But what I like to do is, actually it does have an overflow right here, I think. I don't remember. I'm just gonna make sure there's no junk in these holes. Yeah, there's the overflow there. It's missing. The pollen has had mine. That's why I put my glasses on. And get it all over the computer monitor. See if I can get that jet out. Oh, that is not coming out. Is it? Or is it? Ooh, maybe it is. Okay. Come on. Not coming out easily. There we go. Now I'll just clean this port out. Oops, there's some running a little low on carburetor cleaner. Now my rubber mat is going to swell out, whatever. It's a shop computer stuff, so I don't really wipe that off the monitor. Not that big of a deal. Okay. Now we'll shoot these jets out. Maybe. Come on. All those ports are clean. Oop. Oh, my gloves are slippery. Let's clean this one out. Might change these gaskets too. Look at this. This is all nasty. I'll put I'll clean those surfaces up and put new gaskets on. Right in the face. That's why I wear my glasses. Ooh, that's blocked. See, I don't want to go and change the carburetor itself unless I have to, because with all the Go Fast parts installed on this thing, I don't really want to start messing with something that's custom, and I don't know how much of this is custom and how much of this is gimmick. No, most of it's gimmick. unless the engine's port and polished and all that stuff. Gimmick. Alright, so we can clean this up. This is our, I think this is our idle or a high, whoa. Our high throttle. Sorry, can't answer the phone at the moment. I am a tad busy. Let's actually blow this out because I forgot. Okay. Nice and clear. I can see light. I'm going to drive this all the way in. And then when we start running it, I'll back it out until it runs and runs normal. Okay, it's all the way in. Don't force it. Just kind of get it in enough. All right. Let's see. Let's close this. Oh, we don't have to. Make sure this is all off. Carefully scrape the old gasket material off without gouging the aluminum or magnesium or whatever these things are made out of. Looks like aluminum. Aluminium for my friends across the pond. And down under. Okay. Rinse that off. See, and then you get people that call, and they'll call like 3-4 times and not leave a voicemail. I don't look at missed calls. I actually can't see missed calls, so if you don't leave a voicemail, you don't get called back. It's that simple. Okay, carb looks good. See, and also, guys, remember, unless you're local and you want me to work on your cart and you're calling just for looking for advice, I'm not going to answer the phone. If I don't recognize the number or it doesn't come up with a certain area code range or whatever, I'm not answering it. And if you leave a voicemail asking for advice or help or whatever, I'm not calling you back either. Okay, all those jets work. I don't have time. Yes, I would love to be able to sit and talk with you guys on the phone, but you got to realize I pay per minute with my phone service. It's not expensive, but I also, you know, if I'm on the phone trying to help you fix your cart when I can't really see what's exactly going on and you're trying to describe it to me, you know, you're taking away a lot of my time that I need to work on paying customers' carts. Yeah, you want to send me a donation over PayPal or something, that's still not going to change it. I'm not going to be able to call you. I can't. I just don't have the time. You know, this is a business that I'm running here. I do have paying customers, you know, and I can't. Did I rinse that? I don't think I did. I'm going to do it anyway. I did. I just don't have the time to do that. I can't. You know, and that's what the whole point of me doing like the live streams are. You know, if you want to ask a question during a live stream, that's the place to do it and the time to do it. And I'll do my best to answer it with the little bit of information and the little bit of space that YouTube gives you to type in a question. You know, if you leave a comment on a video, for example, asking why my cart doesn't run, it's like, well, what kind of golf cart is it, first of all? Is it gas, electric? What's the year, make, and model? Need all that information. Otherwise, you're asking a question like, why does my foot hurt? Well, did you fall? Did you trip? Did you just twist it somehow? I don't know. How the hell am I supposed to know if you don't give me all that information? So, but please, guys, don't call. I'm not going to call you back. I'm especially not going to answer the phone. I don't sell parts and accessories online anymore. That was a pain in the ass to do anyway, so I don't. Logistical nightmare because of the government and their taxing bull crap. Okay, float moves freely. Needle valve moves freely. This is the main jet, I think. Pretty sure. There's jets, ports, galleys, valleys, pins, pokey things, pop rivets. Okay, I'm just basically cleaning the carb out and throwing it in my oil pan right here. Off camera. Okay. Ooh, nice and shiny. Nice and shiny. I hope you guys can see what the heck I'm doing here, because I'm kind of just rambling now. I'm just going to wipe this screw off. But, yeah. So I only service a small area because I'm a one-man show. I don't have employees. I don't have anybody nobody else answers the phones, picks up carts, returns carts, or works on carts, does the bookkeeping, paperwork, and all that stuff but me. Just me. So I just don't have the time to be able to talk to everybody. I'm not going to worry too much about the outside. It's all caked down crap anyway. Okay, let's get it back in the cart. That gasket looks okay. Actually, you know what? Let's take a look first. I can't get it out. Nope, it's not ripped, so. Nope, it's good. We'll leave it. It's not ripped or torn. We're not going to touch it. All right, so we'll slide the carb on. We'll slip on. Oops, yeah. Put it on the right way. Turn it around first. And then we'll slip it on. Like so. Slide the fuel line on. Like so. So what I like to do is I will take my E-clip for the throttle cable. I gotta talk to him about this PCV hose not going into the airbox like it's supposed to. Okay. Take the E-clip, grab it with the pair of dikes like so, and then attempt. Oop. See, the hardest part, you try not to bite down on the E-clip too hard because you will cut it in half. Actually, what I'm going to do is kind of grab on this bracket here and pull it back. They do make a tool for this, I know, but I don't have it. There. Once it starts, I can click it into place. Okay, so that's back. We'll bend this back down. Then I'll take the throttle, or the choke. We'll do this. Put that in there. We'll get the screw started. Oop. I hear the garbage truck. Got the shakes. A little bit of too much coffee this morning, I think. Alright. And then be mindful of the pinhole when you put these things back in. I always try to point them towards the back of the engine. That way, when it comes time to, that works. Put the clevis pins in. They line up almost perfectly and go right in. They're so tiny, these things. right, so there's throttle, there's choke. It works. What I'll do is, let me get a gasket and some other little gizmos. So I got a carburetor gasket here. The little nub here goes up to the, points towards the cable connections. There's a little spot on the carb that would sit. Okay. Okay. So that's all the way in. We're going to turn it out 1.5 turns. Half. 1. Actually, let's start with 1. Okay, let's blow that stuff out of there, and I think I'll let you watch me do that. Medium. Wow, does that stink. A little bit of dirt, water, probably oil, because that is part of the crankcase. That's better. You know, it normally does drain, but because of the lift kit, it's kind of, the engine's not sitting like it's supposed to. All right, that's that. Let's the airbox back on now. Some of the dirt out. There's that. Unfortunately, I don't have any bolts to put in the back. So we'll throw these nuts back on here. We'll throw this. Is this a K&N filter? No. Yeah. I don't know why people think that it's going to increase performance by doing stuff like that. Because the cart breathes just fine. The engine breathes just fine the way it is. Governor's cranked up on it, though, I can tell you that much. That I do know. You can just tell by the way it's firing up before I even get the pedal pressed down at all. Okay. These out. I don't want the engine chewing on this. Actually, let me blow that out with the blower. It's funny how I reached for that instead of the air hose, which is laying right next to me. Us humans are interesting creatures. There's supposed to be a pre-filter in here, and then this air filter goes in. But this is how it was. This is how it's going back. I just got to see if he wants me to replace this PCV hose that's supposed to be here. Okay. Let's see how it runs. Choke. Wow, that is cranked way the hell up. I'll have to let him know about that. That's all that this needed, is it's running. So, wow. Tell you what, guys, This governor is cranked way the hell up on this thing. You guys know how, you've been watching my channel any length of time, you know how I feel about that stuff. But like I said, it's not my cart. Guy can do whatever he wants. I'm not gonna undo it if he doesn't want me to, but that's pretty much it on this one. I know, okay, so here's another question I get a lot of while I have 9% battery left. Why don't I take the carts for a test drive after I'm done working on them? Well, I do, except when they're cranked up like this, I don't like to. I might tighten that belt up really quick because I have a chance to. So I'll tighten that belt up for them just for the heck of it. But I don't usually take them for a drive when they are cranked way the hell up like this. I mean, I'll drive them, but, you know, like half throttle. I'll never really give it full throttle because I don't want this engine exploding while I'm driving it, because then they're going to say, oh, well, it worked fine before you took it, kind of thing. So we avoid that. But anyway, as far as I can tell, let me look at the work order here I have. Yeah, runs, stalls, carb issues. Okay. Keeps going. Battery keeps going dead. So what? We got to check that too. So let's see. While we're here, I'm going to change the GoPro battery and then we'll check the battery. What we're going to do, I'm going to try to give you the best lighting I can. Very difficult. I'm in a tight space and I'm working in an awkward position. So we'll see how we do here. So the customer complains. Oh boy, that doesn't sound right when you say it that way. The customer complaint, let's try that again. The other customer complaint is the battery keeps going dead every year. I'm going to assume it's probably because of all this crap connected to it. So, all right, so I have this meter here. It's a amp meter, DC amp meter. It has a built-in shunt, which will do. Basically, it measures the voltage differential from point A to B, and it's converted into amps and all that fun jazz. Basically, that's what the shunt does, in a nutshell. So we're going to use this. I'm going to hook it up to the battery after I disconnect it. It's kind of like Mickey Mouse, though, the way I got to do it. So we're going to unhook the ground. A half inch. Oh, that's not even tight. Oh, that could be part of your problem. Oh, there's your problem. Oop, look at that. Is that broken? That is not broken. It just came off. Okay, you know what? We'll fart around with that later because we need to fix that. And both sides came off, so let's just take the battery. At least it has one. Take the clamp out of the way so we can work. We got the negative battery terminal off. All right, so I put an alligator clip on the end of this wire. I meant to do that before, but I didn't. I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see this, but it does move. Ever so slightly. I don't know if you can see that. Gonna get the shadows there. See how it's moving very, very little. So there is a draw somewhere. So we do have a parasitic draw on this cart, is my point. What it is, I haven't a clue. Okay, so just spoke with the customer about this cart. After going through all of that, we've decided, after talking to him, we decided that we're just gonna disconnect all of the wiring for the aftermarket stuff and leave only electrical connections that are required for the golf cart to run, start and run. So which is what we have done. It's been sitting there. He also wants me just to leave the governor alone. He said he'll take that and mess with it. It looks like it may have been, let me see. Yeah, I can't really tell, but yeah, he's decided just to leave it alone and let me leave it alone. He'll take care of all this stuff. He'll kind of mess around with it. And yeah, so all I'm going to do now on this cart, but I am going to do just an oil change on it. Everything else he's fine with the way it is. He's really going to basically pretty much start the cart over by himself since this is more of like a project thing for him that he really just wanted to mess around with. He just needed me to get it running and kind of figure out what's going on with the electrical. So the electrical is a mess. Aside from the original cart factory wiring, everything else is a mess. But, you know, like I said, he's going to take care of all that. So that's going to be it for this one, guys. We're just going to close this one out right here. So I just want to take this time to thank you guys very much for watching. I really do appreciate it, as always. Be sure to like the video if you liked it. Ring the bell to be notified anytime I upload videos to the channel. Subscribe if you already haven't, and we'll see you in the next video.